Oh, we've all been there, right? You're in the middle of something important, maybe finishing a big project, watching a movie, and then suddenly, nothing. The screen just freezes up, the fan goes dead silent, or maybe it just won't turn on at all. That split second of just pure panic, yeah, that's a universal feeling.
But here's the good news. You are not helpless in that situation. Not at all. We can actually swap that frustration for some real confidence. It all just boils down to knowing what to look for and, what steps to take next. And hey, that is exactly what we're going to dive into today. We are going to walk through the absolute fundamentals of computer repair and maintenance. The goal here is to transform that moment of panic into a feeling of power, of being in control of your own tech. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about repair versus maintenance. What's the difference? Then, we'll get into decoding your computer's clues. Think of it like being a detective. After that, we'll lay out a troubleshooter's plan, step by step. We'll hit some common problems and their quick fixes, and we'll wrap it all up with a proactive health check you can do yourself. All right, section 1, repair versus maintenance. So let's start with the absolute basics. It is so important to get the difference between, fixing something that's already broken versus keeping it from breaking in the first place. Okay, let's break this down. On one side, you've got computer repair. This is reactive. It's what you do after something goes wrong. A part fails, you fix it. Simple. But on the other side, you have computer maintenance. And this is proactive. This is all the regular care, like running updates, cleaning out dust, that keeps your machine humming along and helps stop those big failures before they even start. All right, on to section 2, decoding your computer's clues. Okay, so now it's time to put on our detective hats, because when your computer starts acting up, it almost always leaves a trail of clues. You just have to know what you're looking for. You have to know how to read the signs. And I'm not kidding here. Your computer is constantly talking to you. It uses sights, sounds, and yeah, even smells. Is it getting super hot to the touch? Is it making some bizarre new noise? Does something smell burnt? These are not random events, people. These are direct messages trying to tell you what's going on inside. So let's look at our first clue, excessive heat. If you touch your computer and it's way hotter than usual, that is a huge red flag. And what's really interesting is that this one symptom, heat, can point to a few different suspects. It could be that the fans inside are just choked with dust, or maybe the vents are blocked, or maybe one of the fans has just given up the ghost completely. Okay, a couple more physical clues. First, odor. If you ever smell something burning, that's not a suggestion, that's an emergency stop sign. Something inside is overheating, maybe even melting. Turn it off immediately. And then there are the light indicators. Those little blinking lights on the case. They're not just for decoration. A certain blinking pattern or a light that's supposed to be on but isn't can be a specific error code. Your computer's manual can help you translate it. Now for clue number 2, noise. And I'm not talking about the fan whirring. I'm talking about beeps. If your computer won't turn on but it's making a series of beeps, listen closely. That is not random. It is literally speaking a secret code to you. One short beep might mean one thing, like a memory refresh failure. That's a problem with the DRAM, its main working memory. But a different pattern, say one long beep and 2 short ones, could point to your video card. These codes come from the BIOS, the computer's startup program. And this chart is basically your Rosetta Stone. It translates those beeps into real, actionable information. Okay, so you've gathered your clues. You've listened to the beeps. You've felt the heat. Now what? Well, you need a plan of attack. Just jumping in and trying random things can actually make the problem way worse. And this is it, the troubleshooter's step-by-step plan. This is a logical 8-step process that the pros use. It's designed to take you from what is happening to, aha, got it. You start by identifying the problem, then you analyze it. Is this a hardware thing or a software thing? You come up with a theory and you test it. If you're right, you apply the fix, and then, and this is so important, you test the solution to make sure it actually worked. Finally, just verify the whole system is back to normal and maybe jot down what you did. Trust me, that last step will save you so much time if it ever happens again. And you can think of that whole process like this flowchart here. It's a perfect visual for it. It forces you to be systematic, right? It's just a series of yes or no questions. Does a cursor appear? Does the system boot? Each answer you give sends you down a different path, leading you closer and closer to the real root of the problem, instead of you just randomly guessing.
All right, section 4, common problems, quick fixes. Let's get our hands dirty now. We've got the theory, we've got the plan, so let's apply it to some of the most common headaches you're probably going to run into. And take a look at this. The thing to notice is how often the simplest fix is the right one. Computer slow? Don't panic and think you need a new one. Just try cleaning up some unnecessary files first. Screen is totally frozen? The classic turn it off and on again is your first move. Now, it could be a sign of low RAM, that's random access memory, or even spyware, but start with the reboot. The computer won't start at all? Seriously, before you do anything else, just check that the power cord is plugged in. And if you hear strange clicking or grinding noises, that is a big one. Stop what you're doing and back up your data right now. That's very often the sound of a hard drive on its last legs. Okay, section 5, your proactive health check. We've talked a ton about fixing things when they break, but honestly, the real power move, it's stopping them from breaking in the first place. So let's shift gears now and talk about that proactive maintenance. And here's the best part. You don't need to go out and buy a bunch of fancy, expensive software to do this. Your computer, assuming your own Windows, already has some amazing tools built right in. We're going to walk through 3 of the most useful ones right now.
First up, tool number 1, disk cleanup. It's so easy to find. Just go to your start menu and type disk cleanup. This little tool is brilliant. It goes through and finds all the digital junk that just builds up over time. Temporary internet files, old error reports, all that clutter. Cleaning it out can free up a ton of space and really give your computer a nice little speed boost. Okay, tool number 2, defragment and optimize. This one is especially key if you have an older style hard disk drive, an HDD. The best way to think about it is like a messy library. Over time, your files, the books, get scattered all over the place. That's called fragmentation. This tool is like a librarian that comes in and puts all the books back in their proper sections, so it's way faster to find what you need. Now, if you have a modern solid-state drive, an SSD, it doesn't really get fragmented in the same way, but this tool still helps optimize it to keep it running at its best. And our third tool is error checking. This one's a little hidden. You have to go to your drive, right-click it, go to Properties, and then find the Tools tab. What this does is scan your hard drive for problems. It looks for file system errors and even physical imperfections on the drive itself. They call them bad sectors. Finding and fixing these things is a huge deal because they can lead to corrupted files and nasty system crashes. Just running this every now and then is like a checkup for your drive's health. So when you boil it all down, what we're really talking about here is a change in mindset. The whole point is to stop being a passive victim of your technology, to stop feeling helpless when something goes wrong. By learning to speak its language and having a plan, you become an active, empowered detective. You're the one in charge. And that really brings us to our final thought for today. We've covered a lot, from playing detective with weird sounds to doing these proactive health checks. So my question to you is this. What's the one tech habit you'll start this week? Just one thing. What are you going to do to move from panic to power?